Alrighty, it's time for some mail. Whole week's worth of mail. Didn't check my P.O. box all week, and now I got this stack of stuff over here. So we're going to go through it all. The first one I got to get into is the one I'm the most excited about because I'm so curious about it. This is a slim package that came from Italy that, for whatever reason, was considered something I had to sign for at the post office, and they were like, they couldn't find it. Like, they were going around for like 10 minutes looking for this thing, and then they finally found it. I had to sign for it, which I haven't had to sign for anything else yet. I don't know if that's just because it's from Italy or what. It's got a €10 postage on it in spite of being so small, which I assume is just because it's a cross-country, or a cross-continental mail. So, alright. First of all, it's got a dope-ass, looks like Yui on it. It says, Fua Fua time, motherfucker. That's fantastic. Hi, Digi. I hope you like this little poster I've made for you. I've been following you for quite some time now, and I can say that yours is one of my favorite channels on YouTube. Your analysis are always very insightful and really sell a show when you praise it, other than having me watch certain series or movies in a different, deeper way, like with Kill La Kill and K-On, which I already enjoyed. I also appreciate how you have no problem at expressing what you like, even for more visceral reasons, or just because you find it well-drawn or sexy or adorable, despite what the general reception of it is and what other people may think about you. 99.9% of my body is made by insecurities and fear of judgment, so I've always felt a bit guilty when I've liked stuff that the majority dislikes, or for liking a character or show just by how it looks. Not to say that I don't also consider the way these things are written, especially when others have a better argument than mine. They also tell me that I don't need to feel guilty for this, but it's still hard not to be overcome by my own insecurities. But now I'm trying to respect my more personal opinions and be sincere with myself. You make me appreciate the analysis videos over regular videos. Those are just more interesting to watch and listen. I'll try to use some of the things I've learned from your videos, and also the ones made by Mother's Basement and Goat Jesus, for my works. Also, I've never thought that listening to a drunken man tired by insomnia rambling about random stuff could be so mind-blowing. Seriously, your vlogs have some of the smartest content I've heard about art. If you're interested, my friends and colleagues and I have created a group of self-published comic authors named Potpourri Comics. We are planning to translate our stories in English in the future, but for now you can find some illustrations made by us on our internet site, which is also named Potpourri Comics. Wish you the best for your future work with the Devu and Ben Saint. Keep it up, Digi. Thanks. I'm glad that those are the things you've gotten out of my videos, because those are all important messages that I want to share with the world. And oh my god, this is absolutely glorious. Oh my god, that is me with all the K-Ons. This is the greatest poster anyone has ever made. Nicolo Fila, or Deeble NF. Thank you so much. Look at me. Look at me. Oh my god, it's fantastic. That's the best thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Thank you. I don't know where I'm going to put this, but this has to go up somewhere. Will it? It's not quite the right height to go over there. I'll find a place for this where it will be visible in as many videos as possible. Thank you. Alright, next up we have a letter from Nick in Philadelphia that was sent to #DicksOutForDigibro. Dear Digi, I sent a version of this letter a few weeks ago, but I think it didn't make it to you. The original letter had to Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi written on it on the front as a joke, and the USPS must have confiscated it. Your mail vlogs are pretty fun. There's nothing I like better than getting attention from people on cameras, so I figured it'd be pretty meta if I sent you this and reread that sentence out loud. When I first encountered you, I'm not sure when, probably when you went viral with SAO, I hated your guts and didn't think you had much of anything valuable to say. This past year, I ended up reversing my position completely. I thought you might get a kick out of that. It was probably your anime is getting lazy with its meta video that started my conversion. Why do you like Summer Wars so much? I watched it a long while ago, so I might be missing something. It was a good time, nice looking, competent story, etc. Nothing really to complain about for sure, but also not a lot that stuck with me for long after. More or less on par with Girl Who Led Through Time, which is the only other Mamoru Hosoda film I've seen, besides the dubbed Digimon one. What makes Summer Wars so amazing? The characters, themes, animation, pure fun? I can't recall anything on those fronts that was especially noteworthy. The virtual world aspect is pretty cool, I guess. However, I'm sure you know that Mamoru Hosoda recycled the concept from his Digimon movie. What am I missing here? For the record, Phantom World is totally worth a watch if you have a categorical attraction to fairy companions / cute mascot characters. Best show this year in that regard. Rest in peace, Berserk. Your call to action for analysis got me in gear to start writing some scripts for potential videos. Thanks for the inspiration. Victor's at the door. What do you want, Vic?
You need to clean your fucking crock pot.
Okay.
Like, please.
Okay. Okay.
Please.
I'm sorry. What did I do? Your call to action for analysis got me into gear to start writing some scripts for potential videos. Thanks for the inspiration. If you aren't sick of them yet, I've included my 3x3. I made it in Illustrator. I'm thinking of taking something off to put in JoJo, but I don't know what I'd switch out. Suggestions? I've also included a copy of a travel guide I made this summer for my internship. I think it will probably be useful to you. XOXO Nick. Summer Wars, I haven't seen it in a long time either, which is why I don't already have a video explaining what's so good about it. I remember really enjoying the themes of family and the presentation of this big family who all are like these unique, interesting characters who each one you can tell has their own story outside of what's going on in the movie itself. And the way they all interact and come together is really cool. And it sort of suggests that that would be true of everyone in the world. It's like all these individuals coming together to defeat this problem that's facing everyone. And it's tightly paced and a lot of fun. My good friend Ghost Lightning wrote some great analytical posts about it on his blog back around when the film came out, mostly about how much he loves the matriarchal figure of the grandma, who is the leader of this big family, and how she has all these connections, and clearly has a lifetime of interesting stories behind her, which makes her a fascinating character. So his 3x3, very nifty design. It has Berserk, which I'm going to read the back has text on it. Berserk plus manga, mostly manga to be honest. Anime was subpar. Ava, rebuilds suck ass. Just the anime of Cardcaptor Sakura, I haven't read the manga yet. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, anime only. FLCL, just says Gesamtkunstwerk on the back. Mamoru Penguin Drum, actually too deep for me. Monster, anime only. Samurai Flamenco is my jam. And Fate Stay Night, but really Type Moon in general. Pretty interesting. I don't think I've seen Samurai Flamenco on a lot of 3x3s. And I like that you have Penguin Drum even though you literally think it's too deep for you. That's kind of like... I haven't watched all of Penguin Drum. I watched the first 7 episodes when it was airing, and that was kind of how I felt. That whatever was going on, it was entertaining to some extent, but I wasn't super into the story, and then whatever the themes were just too much for me to process at the time. But I've been curious to rewatch it ever since. He also sent this... What the fuck? Apparently this is the ultimate LGBT travel guide. How to have your gaycation in Virginia. I did not know this was a thing. Just specifically places to go if you're gay. But a lot of this is about DC, which is not even in Virginia. It's all DC. Yeah, okay, it says Washington, D.C., but right here it says Virginia, even though D.C.'s not in Virginia. It's its own place. And I live on the opposite side of the state. But I'll keep that in mind for when Otakon moves to D.C. next year. I'll be sure to check my gaycation spots. Alright, next we have a green letter from a Caleb. Hey Digi, you might remember me as the guy who tweeted the Ass War English dub trailer to you a few months back. Judging from your response afterwards, I think you may or may not have experienced sheer pain and extreme cringe. Those are exactly the emotions I've experienced. Anyway, I've been a fan since summer 2014 when I found your video praising the first 2 episodes of Zankyo no Terror for their good use of exposition. Following that was your other video where you took a complete 180 and shit on Zankyo no Terror, which I found absolutely hilarious since I had most of the same problems with the show you had. From then on, your analysis and viewpoints on whatever you would be talking about helped shape my taste and interest in what I would want to watch. Some of my favorite videos of yours include What is Anime and What Isn't, Gurren Lagann vs. Kill la Kill a Thematic Rundown, What is the Appeal of Anime, Anime is Getting Lazy with its Meta, and Asterisk War Sucks Part 9, How A1 Pictures Gets Away with It. I got into anime in late 2012 thanks to my best friend Ethan, which started with High School of the Dead and the undisputed king of trash, Sword Art Online. Later on, I started getting into simulcasts, starting with Attack on Titan, also thanks to Ethan, and I'm still finding new shit to watch every season. The only other thing included with this letter is a 3x3 of my favorite anime. Judge my shit taste, senpai. Before I end this letter, I have a few questions I was hoping you could answer. Are there any manga that you hope to see get adapted to anime someday? Well, it's difficult to answer because, like, a lot of my favorite manga are ones that had anime adaptations that I just don't think are as good as the manga. So, like, Nazca of the Valley of the Wind, Akira, which both are, like, classic anime films, but the manga are way longer and way better. Bokurano, which the anime creator, like, didn't like the manga and changed a bunch of stuff. I haven't actually watched it, but that's what I've heard about it. Genshiken, which has a good anime, but not as good as the manga. Bakuman, which I think is integral that it is a manga series because it's about manga, and the anime kind of... I've heard it gets better later on, but I've also heard that the early episodes just kind of don't feel right and don't match the, like, pacing and intensity of the manga. So all those had adaptations that just weren't as good. King of Bandits Jing, don't care about the anime as much. So, like, yeah, that's most of my favorites. I guess there's a lot of, like, weird underground manga that I'd like to see adapted to anime, but at the same time, I feel like none of the adaptations would live up to the manga. So, yeah, for me to enjoy, like, to really love a manga usually means that like, the anime isn't as good or wouldn't be as good. Like, that it's better as manga than it would be as anime. We all know what you think of SAO, but what are your thoughts on Reki Kawahara's other series, Excel World? Well, I haven't really seen much of Excel World. I only read the first chapter of the manga. Now, fun fact, if you were to go online right now and read the first chapter of Excel World, pretty much anywhere on the internet, I proofread that translation. I was a part of the scanslation group Rice Ballicious for a very brief time, and I think they only did like the first chapter or two of Excel World, but it had just come out. This was before the Sword Art Online anime even was out. So, like, the translation team, I was a proofreader, so basically I would take the direct Japanese to English translations and make it sound better in English. So I did that for Excel World Chapter 1. So if you were to read that on, like, a manga stream reading site somewhere, then that would be me. And you can tell, because there's lots of swearing. Not as much swearing as I wanted there to be. They wouldn't let me put in the line, "I'm so fucked up," even though it was super appropriate at the moment. You'll know when it should have been if you read it. Thoughts on the other members of Game Grumps, Barry, Ross, Brian, etc., and do you have any interest in Ninja Sex Party? Side note, while I was writing this, I found If Me and Tom Were Gay in the depths of the After Dark channel, so in the meantime, I'll take that as a yes, but feel free to answer anyways. Yeah, I like Ninja Sex Party. I haven't really liked their newer stuff. I don't really like all their songs. There's, like, a select few that I really love, like Dinosaur Laser Fight, FYI, I Wanna F Your A, like a few others of, like, the more clever, fun songs I really loved. Haven't been a fan of, like, all of their stuff or any of their recent stuff. Don't care for Starbomb at all. I think Barry is not good enough at improv or funny enough that he should be on the show. He's great at editing. He made a great video. He actually made an analysis video on Grump Out where he analyzed the sky in Skyward Sword. That video was great. I want to see more of that. I want Barry to keep doing shit like that. Ross is a good guy. I cannot tolerate him on the show. I can't stand listening to Ross. He's just unbelievably obnoxious. I don't hate him as a person. When I hear him talk about things he's actually passionate about, like animation, it can be interesting, but, like, totally intolerable as a Let's Play host. And Brian is a pretty fun and cool guy. My only problem is that he's, like, you can't have him with more than one other person. When it's just him and another person, it's usually fine and pretty fun. When it's him and two other people, he won't, like, cut people off. He doesn't, like, know how to speak over people, so he just constantly gets, like, walked over when he's trying to talk. But anyway, I haven't watched Game Grumps, like, in 6 months or so I don't know how they've all been now. I appreciate everything that you and Devu put into your work, and I'm always looking forward to what you make next, and shout out to the rest of the procrastinators and Weebcast for the countless hours of entertainment. Thanks for reading this letter, and I'll see you in the next one. P.S. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on ReZero. Also, finish Kekai Sensen while you're at it. From Twitter at iDigidroid and Mal iDigidroid. I assume there's no relation to me. I might finish Kekai Sensen at some point. Alright, here's the 3x3. We've got Gurren Lagann, Fullmetal Alchemist, Nichijou, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, looks like Stardust Crusaders, Psycho Pass, Cowboy Bebop, The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, Trigun, and Space Dandy. Pretty good selection. Obviously, I share a lot of the same favorites, so, yeah, I'm not going to criticize taste that's, like, practically the same as my own. There's also a, Here Lies Digibro's Beard. Overstayed its welcome. I think I can agree with that. It also said, P.S. no need to write back. I hope nobody thinks I'm going to write them back. These videos are me writing you back. Alright, this next one, I can't really read the name, or I can't tell if there is a name. It seems to come from Hawaii. Greetings, Digibro. I was going to handwrite this, but after like 2 minutes, I gave up. Honestly, good, because the typed ones, I am much better at reading dramatically. I'm the type of person who doesn't like to visit or write people unless I specifically has a reason to. Since you opened your P.O. box, I've been actually looking around for an excuse, any excuse, to send you something. I think I finally found that thing of some. That thing of some. I have recently seen a movie in theaters. Since I was watching just about anything, I have no standards whatsoever. There's no such thing as a bad movie in my book, only a movie that doesn't do what it promises to do. Now what does this mean? In order to explain myself, I made my own analytical video, something I've never done before. I made it with you in mind, Digibro. It takes inspiration from your SAO and Ass War series and the way you go over the series episode by episode in order to clearly explain what the fuck your beef with the series in question is. I did the same concept. The Secret Life of Pets movie disturbed and upset me beyond simply being terrible, so I made a video recounting the whole damn movie scene by scene to explain myself. I heard that movie wasn't bad, but what do I have no interest in seeing it. It's a 42-minute long video. I really want you to see it, but hopefully you won't mind, seeing the crap you put your own viewers through. Man, the length of some of your videos, I've been looking for an excuse to directly tell you that. Motherfucker, you made a 7-hour video! Holy shit, what the hell? Worst part is that since I'm damn determined to watch every single thing you release ever, that was a several-day slog. Holy shit. Now my insane anime backlog has doubled in size from that 250 recommendations video. I've seen almost everything you've done thus far, not counting the pony crap. I got enough of that for a lifetime from Endless Jazz. Hey, his videos are better than mine, so check those out by all means. I'm still trying to get caught up with the pub crawl, and I'm only missing a few series from the Digibros channel, so I'm getting closer and closer to seeing all the Digibro content in existence. Your playlist of all the Digibro videos was helpful. I was surprised to see just how many of your videos I've gone through. Lately, I feel more like a Digibro otaku than an anime otaku, which is the weirdest shit. Now that I've typed it out and actually really thought about that, 2016 has been the year of Digibro for me. I don't know how I should feel about that. To give perspective for those who don't follow my Twitter, my playlist that has every Digibro video or every video I've ever appeared in is about a month long. That's a month of continuous viewing. So, yeah, it takes some effort. I will say that Victor is just the best. Watching Digibro's content is a little bit more fun for me than actually watching your main channel. I still have shmeh stuck in my head. There are times where I just randomly say that when I'm bored. I sometimes catch myself saying that repeatedly. When I say, Victor, what have you done to me? It's still hilarious. It feels like I'm still not over that joke. I think I laugh more thinking about it than I did when I originally heard it. I don't even remember which episode that's from. Fat YouTube Guy is also just the best. I rarely comment on any of your videos, but when I do, it's normally to mention something about Fat YouTube Guy. I can't recall any of my recent comments on any of your channels that had nothing to do with Fat YouTube Guy. That character definitely needs to return sometime. I demand it. That's the character from Victor's Movie News Weekly video, for those who don't know. I feel that I also must mention that there was a line in one of your videos somewhere that managed to remove a ton of stress out of my life that really improved my quality of living. I will first note that I'm a YouTuber that makes crappy Toho animations. When I sit in front of my computer, I would get a feeling of always wanting to be productive. I used to stress about wasting even a single minute on useless crap just to get frustrated and end up staring at a wall for hours on end. I feel like I shouldn't procrastinate. I feel like I have to be constantly doing something useful. I felt like Jesse would, basically. Jesse has said multiple times that his creative juices, his creative thoughts, his creative process is a curse. He constantly has to be creating something. Everything he does has to contribute to his craft somehow, and it's driving him insane. That is accurate. Jesse Wood is a crazy man, a professional shitbag living in his mother's basement screaming at the world, and I was feeling like I was going down that same route. Hey, don't get all these guys confused. I felt like I was going nuts. I wanted to do everything. I had 100 ideas and I wanted to do all of them right now, but I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do and ended up doing nothing. But there was something you said in one of your videos. You said that you consume all sorts of media. You said that if you liked a particular YouTuber, you watched all of their content within a few days, and you did all that because you said your time is worthless. You're highly prolific and you still consume a vast amount of media. Then I thought, how would it change my life if my own time became worthless? My productivity has dropped to nearly nothing, but damn, I feel so much better about wasting time. It's not possible to waste time anymore because my time is now worthless. This is actually how I got over clinical depression. I've said this before, that my meds would make me not care about like the fact that I wasn't doing anything. And yeah, that's the secret. Stop giving a shit and your life becomes better. I don't create as often, but I have so much more fun now. I've seen all the content in multitudes of YouTube channels, and I've seen much more anime. I've been able to dent my video game backlog, something I previously thought impossible, and I just don't care about much of anything anymore. I still work on things, I still get that itch, but it's no longer at Jesse Wood level intensity. See, the funny thing is that Jesse is currently trying to do the same thing. He's been trying to learn how to not give a shit, which if you watch his not a review videos, that's exactly what those are. The not a reviews are his attempt at being like, I don't care about making this a masterpiece, I don't care what it is, it's just a video about a thing, and it's done. And so that's why he's making those, is to get into this mindset. I currently have a list of animations I want to get through, then I want to move on to analysis type stuff. You've mentioned that you want more anime reviewers, movies, and video games are overly covered, but that's not enough channels covering anime, and now I want to eventually get around to doing that. You've been my inspiration in more ways than one, same way Egoraptor has been my major inspiration as an animator. Egoraptor is another guy I follow all of the content of. I've seen everything Aaron Hansen I could possibly get my hands on. I've literally seen all of the Game Grumps he's been in. I'm not too far behind you, buddy. I've seen most of Aaron's shit, although I haven't watched, like, The Tester or anything like that. But, you know, I was a big fan as well. Though I haven't watched any stuff he's made in the last 6 months. When I get into something, I really get into it. Being in the Toho fandom has been insane for me. Yeah, I fucking bet. Anyways, getting back to the main topic, I basically want you to review my review, which is the entire point of this letter to begin with. Just copy-paste this link here. Wait, oh right, paper. I'm not sure of the easiest way to share this with you. My channel name is currently Castle Toast M, if that's any easier. The link URL isn't that long, so it's probably no issue. The original recording was like an hour and 12 minutes. I had to edit it down to 42 minutes, not only to save my viewers on time, but also because I have such unbelievably long and frequent pauses in my speech. When writing, my mind goes at 1,000,000 miles an hour, but when speaking, it slows to an unbearable pace. Editing this review to me easily more than 10 hours took me, and it hardly has any visuals. When you split a piece of audio and you zoom out in the editor timeline, if the clip is small enough, it's just a dark line. The audio portion of this project was pure black in the editor. That's how much I had to edit out my stupid pauses. I even had a script. Micro-editing on this level is insane. Is this just something I need to get good, or do small speech pauses even matter? I purposefully left some pauses for the parts that I really wanted to sink in. Hopefully I managed to avoid the anime snob style of editing where it's too fast to process. So this is how I've been doing it these days. Because in my older videos, there was so little pausing that it really started to feel, like, nauseating sometimes. And I just was, like, okay with that, because I wanted them to be super fast. And then eventually I was like, what the fuck am I doing? This sounds like garbage. So I started adding in pauses. So what I'll do is, I record my whole audio, then I go through and I delete all the breaths in Audacity. So in Audacity, you can just highlight a section of audio and then hit backspace, and it just deletes it, and it doesn't break the track at all. There's no, like, cutting and then deleting. So what you end up with is just one continuous audio track, just with all the stuff you removed. So then, once I've done that, then I render that track, I put it into Vegas, and then any place where the words are too close together, I splice the audio there and move it just slightly to the side. So, like, if there's two sentences that kind of run into each other, I just splice the clip and add a little silence there. So yeah, that's how I do it, and it's pretty fucking time effective. I also purposefully used repetition rather than direct explanation in some parts. Let me know how well that worked. I tried to influence the viewer to think about the scenes rather than having me to directly describe and explain every little thing. Hopefully it turned out well for a first time making an analysis. Anyways, I would love to write more, but I better not, otherwise you might need to sit through a short novel. The script for my review is already at a short story length, so I can definitely go on and on about this type of thing. After I finish up my currently started animations and finally get to the end of my to-do list, I might try my hand at anime reviews and throw in my own subjective perspectives into the ring. I'll definitely be sending you another letter whenever I get around to creating my first anime analysis or review, so look forward to another absurdly long letter whenever that happens. It's so weird listening to you read this right now. Wow, wasn't even expecting how strange it is having you actually read this back to me. Thanks so much for letting me waste your worthless time, haha. Also, he drew a picture of his YouTube icon, I guess. I was also going to send a 3x3, but it's too expensive, so here's a text version. It's in no particular order, it's just mostly a list of 9 anime I really liked. Gurren Lagann, One Punch Man, Space Dandy, Steins Gate, Katana ga Tori, Konosuba, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Parasite the Maxim, and Nichijou. Pretty good. I obviously like most of those shows. Alright, next we have a letter with no name on it from Sacramento, California. This envelope was like coming apart. Like that, it's just destroying itself. It's got a K-Ons. Who even are these people? It says. I think they're... Okay, that one... I guess this one's Mio and that one's Azusa. I was confused for a second. But there's no Ritsu in here. Oh, there's Ritsu. Also, some OCs rather. Do not steal. Is there a letter in here to explain all this before I keep going? This is danksmells.txt. It says at the top. Hey Digi bro, I'm typing this because I wrote you a letter in nice handwriting, then drew the pictures, then realized I hated the letter, so my hand is too tired to write nicely at this point. I'm not an anime fan. I mean, anime is alright, but I haven't been able to get into it because it's so hard for me to find something I enjoy. I'm so far out of the anime blogosphere that I just don't hear about anything but the top 2 most popular anime of each season, if that. My IRL friends always insist that I watch at least a few episodes of their favorite animes, which are usually boring to me. I was once locked in a room and forcibly made to watch the first 20 episodes of Fairy Tail. I wish I were exaggerating. It was agonizing. I truly feel sorry for you. Fortunately, I've found a few animes that I like, which are in my enclosed anime 3x3, and I'm accumulating a rather long watch this because Digibro described it and it sounds good list. It's been a lot easier just to be aware of the existence of other animes ever since I subscribed to you. What I am a fan of is vlogs. I really like watching vlogs of people who have a really specific expertise that they talk about in depth, whether or not I know anything about what they're talking about. I like how I can listen to them while doing other tasks and feel like I still got a lot out of the video without having to stop everything else. I also like how I can see their progression as a person over the course of their videos. I definitely prefer really in-depth discussion over prettiness, especially since half the time I just listen to videos rather than watch them. Your videos are perfect for this. I love how you're not afraid to give us a sense of your personality and how you experiment with the ideas you encounter in your daily life and try to make them a part of your work. It's pretty radical. Also enclosed is my YouTube channel 3x3, a drawing of my shit OCs and shit doodles of the K-On girls, who I know nothing about. I think they might be unrecognizable, not too sure. Anyways, I'd probably better wrap it up so I can get to burning my first draft of this letter, and also probably my whole house since I just saw a spider. Hope I survive. Many dokis and tamagos to you, sir. Damp from California. Thank you, Damp. And good luck with that spider. So alright, these OCs, I want to show them while also trying to read the descriptions, but I can't read backwards. Fredjamin, Google searches extremely creepy pasta, is 12, thinks he hates everyone, only listens to Canadian indie experimental folk recorded on a potato, can only drink coffee with tons of milk and sugar, and is unsubtly socially fucked. There's also Jimothy, a demon possessing a skeleton, summoned by 2 nice witch ladies who wanted a kid. Functionally a ray of sunshine, fundamentally inhuman and therefore subtly, socially, and morally fucked, enjoys candy and toys, probably makes friendship bracelets. They are pals. From the Tumblr Gold Amp, I think, all one word. whatever it says right there. Pretty good OCs. I like them. Alright, now for some 3x3s. Damps Anime 3x3. One Punch Man, Daily Lives of High School Boys, The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, Monthly Girls is Nozaki-kun, Serial Experiments Lane, Evangelion, which has a star that says I watched this like 6 years ago. I read Azumanga Daioh, and fuck Fairy Tail, written very, very large. I'm sure Best Guy Ever will appreciate that sentiment. I only read one chapter of Fairy Tail, and I was like, nope. Let's see this other 3x3. The Damps YouTuber 3x3. The Daily Woo, Digibro After Dark, Danuked 1, Primitive Technology, Some Ordinary Gamers, The Nth Apple, Bright Sun Films, Night Mind, and Vine Sauce, The Full Sauce. Also Peter Kane Dog Training is pretty alright. I've never heard of any of those except for myself, so I have no comment on any of them. Okay, I didn't notice that the camera stopped filming when I got up to get a knife to open this big-ass package, which comes from Cassie. It had an adorable fucking link inside of it, and this adorable fucking letter written in pink, so I'm going to reread the first paragraph of it. Dear Digibro, I love your videos almost too much. I stumbled across your channel randomly one day, and it made me unbelievably happy. Someone else is as obsessed with anime as I am. Most of my middle school and early high school days were filled with me attempting to find people who liked the same weird niche anime that I do. Then I found you, and I've been so happy ever since. Finally, someone else who loves anime like Suritama and Kuchu Buranko. Honestly, you need to talk about Kenji Nakamura in a video sometime. He's such an eclectic and underrated director. I totally agree. I think I should do some kind of special about him at some point. I also spend an unhealthy amount of time binging your vlogs. You're so eccentric and interesting when you just ramble about whatever's on your mind. I also mostly agree with you, with a few exceptions. I have a crush on JonTron, so he can do no wrong. I'm obviously kidding, but yeah. In the package I sent, there should be 1, a few volumes of a gag manga, 2, a Link plushie, 3, a DVD of a random bookstore find, and 4, my anime 3x3, so that Senpai can judge my tastes. But for real though, you're one of my favorite content creators out there. You're the only person I can listen to for 6 hours straight, then go and immediately watch another video. You make me think about things I would have never thought about a year ago. I'm just so happy that you exist and make videos about stuff that engages me more than most. I only have a few things to ask you. You don't have to do any of this if you don't want to. 1. Tell me your thoughts on the bands School Food Punishment and or Sayonara Ponytail. Don't know anything about School Food Punishment. I know one Sayonara Ponytail song because they did like a Kill La Kill song, and I've got the whole Kill La Kill soundtrack on my computer. I don't remember which one they did, but I'm sure it's okay because I've clicked on it a few times. Who's your number one waifu? Mine is either Kurumi from Date A Live or Shizuma from Strawberry Panic. My number one waifu is a really hard question because, like, for a long time I was super obsessed with Nobue Ito from Strawberry Marshmallow, which is the older sister character. I even had a blog called Nobue Maniacs in reference to a friend of mine's blog, Ogiue Maniacs, about Ogiue from Genshiken. I also really love Tsukuyomi Komoe from A Certain Magical Index. I know I have a Komoe right here. And I have a Nobue that's on another shelf over there I can't get to. But those two I really love for aesthetic reasons. My favorite, character who is also, waifu class, where I both love her and she's one of my favorite characters, would be Akane from Psycho Pass. She's probably the character I've thought about the most in the last couple of years. Whereas those characters, I like them... I haven't seen those shows in a long time, so it's, kind of difficult to still say. I don't know. I guess Tsunemori Akane would currently be my number one waifu. Would you ever watch a Yuri or Yaoi anime? Yes, I've watched a lot of Yuri anime. I was a huge Yuri fan, especially back in high school. I mean, I still am, but... and I've watched a few Yaoi shows, although none, all the way through. I did like Love Stage, but I only watched the first couple episodes of it. Tell Jeff from Mother's Basement that I say hi, I'm too shy to do it myself. Sincerely, Cassie, or Pastel Red Panda, or any variation of it on most social media. 17 from Arizona. P.S. I love / hate you for getting me into Gintama. It's amazing, but now I can't think about anything else. Yeah, it tends to do that to people. I make no apologies for getting people into Gintama. So let's see what these things that she sent are. We've got Gregory Horror Show. I know I've heard of this before. I think there was someone I knew who was like a huge fan of this. But I've never seen it. I don't really know anything about it. But, let's see if I can learn anything from the back. Well, I've never heard of any of the people who worked on it, but it is anime, and it's from 2002, so interesting pick. And then we also have 3 volumes, the first 3 volumes of The Melancholy of Suzumiya Haruhi-chan, which I've never actually read or watched the anime of this, so I will definitely check that out, especially whenever I finally get around to rewatching Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, and maybe actually watching Season 2. Now we've got this 3x3. It's got Tsuritama, FLCL, Gintama, Strawberry Panic, Eden of the East, Kizumonogatari, Sakura Trick, Bakano, and Yurikuma Arashi. I have more official looking one, but I didn't have any printering for it. Obviously big into Yuri. I can't think of any reason you would watch Sakura Trick other than that you're big into Yuri. Yurikuma and Strawberry Panic are both Yuri shows. Strawberry Panic being like the classic Yuri melodrama romance thing. You should watch like Maria Samagami Teru, although it seems like you might like Yuri to be on the trashier or more sexual side than simply girls' love. Because Strawberry Panic, Sakura Trick, and Yuri Kuma are all very like overt in their Yuri, more so than most shows. Watch Simone though; that show's amazing. But overall, great taste. I love all these shows. Eden of the East is pretty good. Bakano, Kizumonogatari is on here. I haven't actually watched that yet. Gintama, FLCL, Tsuritama, all great. Great taste. Alright, one last package. This one's heavy as fuck. It comes from an Ivy, I-V-I-E, I guess that's pronounced Ivy, in Washington. This looks like a bunch of Shonen Jumps, like, rolled into each other somehow. Or no, it's Shoujo Beat, actually. We've got... This looks adorable. I don't know what this is. Gaba Kawa? Shoujo Beat is the shoujo equivalent of Shonen Jump that they started releasing in the US. I don't think it was ever as successful as Shonen Jump was. And I never read it, but I am very curious about it. What is this? This is some kind of Japanese magazine with Gintama on the cover. What is this called? Anime Shu? And it still has like some of the bonus shit in it. It's got I assume this is bonus shit from the magazine. Maybe it's just something else that was in the package. But we've got Plasmagica from Show by Rock, looking fucking adorable. God, the character designs in this show are so fucking good. There's a bunch of stuff inside of it. Hold on. Oh, okay. This has a letter and a 3x3. Ooh, a cute My Neighbor Totoro postage with the letter on it. That's adorable. Alright. And there's a cute picture of Pino from Ergo Proxy on the back. I assume that's Pino. Hey Digi, thank you for helping me get shit done. Seriously, whenever I have to do anything, homework, fold laundry, cleaning, whatever, I put on one of your videos on in the background. There is literally a void in my life when I finish listening to one of your 7-hour podcasts, so thanks. Anyhow, you wanted anime magazines, so here's some anime magazines. First, an issue of the Japanese magazine Animage with Gintoki on the cover, because Gintama is awesome, although I admit I haven't watched the whole thing either. Say Animage? Could I not read it? Okay, now I can read it. I was reading it wrong. But mostly I wanted to send you my old Shoujo Beat magazines. It's out of print now, but basically it was an attempt to bring the phone book style manga magazines for little girls from Japan to the States. Except they are not nearly as big as the Japanese phone book ones, and they have really pointless articles listed throughout, like how to look like that girl from Skip Beat, and how to geisha makeup, etc. For the record, Shonen Jump had the same shit in it. So basically Shoujo Beat is shit. But I thought you might like to look at them because one time I made a video about wanting to experience diverse perspectives in the anime community, so here you go. Back in my high school days when this magazine was still a thing and I was still getting into anime and manga, Shoujo Beat magazine was an introduction into a genre of manga, unlike the volumes of Rurouni Kenshin and Naruto that I borrowed from my friends. Also, you might get a laugh out of some of the articles. They are mostly pretty cringeworthy. Don't actually try to read the manga inside, though. I used to cut out pages from Honey and Clover, which is actually good, and glue them in my sketchbooks and stuff. So yeah, Honey and Clover's in here? Honey and Clover's not even shoujo manga, is it? It's like a josei, I thought. Weird. I don't see it listed on this one. I hope you enjoy looking at these magazines at least a little bit. I love your channel, videos, vlogs, podcasts, basically everything. Keep doing what you do, it's great. From IVL. P.S. I made you a 3x3 to add to your collection, haha. I will try to explain why I like Ergo Proxy, a show you don't like. Number 1, sad robots. Number 2, I am weak to sad robots. Those are better reasons than I've ever heard before. Number 3, a variety of types of episodes keep me interested. I really liked the one where they were stuck and nothing happened because there was no wind. We got more personality depth in the main characters. That's by far my favorite episode of the show, incidentally. I did praise that one in my analysis video. Also, the game show format episode was good and very creative way to do exposition. I don't know if I agree with that. I remember thinking it was still pretty boring. Lots of details add to rewatch value. There are messages in the alphabet cereal. Yeah, but that's obvious. You don't need to rewatch it to figure that out. Vincent Law is a cutie. Pino is a sweet baby, and we see her gain humanity as the series progresses. Seriously, Pino is precious, and I want to protect her. She does get... By the end of the show, she's a pretty good character. I found her really annoying for most of it because of the fact that they use her... Well, I talked about it in my video. You already probably know. Like, not only was this scene adorable, but it emphasizes one of the ideas brought up in the series. Knowledge is necessary for progress, language is necessary for knowledge, which preceded the other. Which preceded the other, language or knowledge. Because she is a robot, so which one came first? Okay, so a lot of questions posed in the series don't have actual answers, but they are all good topics of discussion. But in the last episode, a scene that really stuck with me was when Riel drops into the ship while Ramdo is falling apart, and she says, "I have faith." A very powerful statement in a world that we've seen is godless and seemingly without hope. I probably have shit taste, Radiohead ending theme song, gritty post-apocalyptic feeling to the world. I haven't seen Technolize yet, which probably does the gritty post-apocalyptic thing better. Well, that was a pretty good list of reasons for liking Ergo Proxy. I mean, I can appreciate a lot of those. Obviously, I don't have the same soft spot for sad robots that you do. And yes, Technolize does the gritty apocalypse thing better. Although I don't know if you'll enjoy it as much as a show, because it's also fucking weird. And here we have a really awesome 3x3 with, like, hand-drawn illustrations. Is that Project A-ko? Is one of your favorite anime Project A-ko? Genshiken, Ergo Proxy, The Rolling Girls, Nodame Cantabile, Kobato, Kino's Journey, Welcome to the NHK, and the Bubblegum Crisis OVA. This is a fascinating 3x3. I have never seen Project A-ko on a 3x3 before. For those who don't know, Project A-ko is a unbelievably well-animated 80s OVA that is unbelievably stupid. It's like the dumbest thing ever, but they put a lot of love and effort into making it. The Rolling Girls I haven't really seen on a 3x3 before, or Kobato. Rolling Girls being an extremely inventive show that makes no fucking sense, but has some gorgeous animation in certain episodes. And Bubblegum Crisis, I have not seen... Did I watch Bubblegum Crash or Bubblegum Crisis? I don't remember. I watched the one that was in 1991, and it was mediocre, but very interesting 3x3 and some great stuff on here. Even if I don't like some of these, I would recommend watching all of them, although I haven't seen like Kobato at all, and I don't really know much about it. I just love the art style of this. It looks fucking fantastic. Just want to show it off. And let's grab the rest of the stuff out of here. There's still like 6 more Shoujo Beat magazines in here. Very cool stuff. I'll definitely look at all of it. Thanks a ton to you and to everyone else who sent stuff. And look forward to more mail next week. Okay, so Victor interrupted in the middle of my recording to tell me to go clean my crock pot. Now that I think about it, I must have cooked the crock pot over a week ago. And there's still 2 chicken thighs and a bunch of uneaten stuff inside of it. So let's see what kind of monster it's become. Oh! 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 Toys in the attic! Cowboy Bebop! Ah! Okay, I have wrapped this tripod around my neck. This tripod is literally strangling me. And that way I can film myself doing what needeth to be done. This thing is disgusting. What am I gonna... I think it's just gonna have to get its own trash bag. I wonder if I can angle this in a way where it won't be sideways. How about that? That might make more sense. How do I want to do this? I kind of want to take it outside. I don't even want to do this indoors. Oh, gross. Oh my god, there's a lot more mold in there than I expected. Oh shit, I got it all over the fucking... This was a bad plan. Bad plan. Bad plan. I need a hose. I need a hose. This needs to go in the trash. This is all disgusting. Everything that's happening is disgusting. Why did I let this happen? This is all my fault. Fine, whatever. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. A little drip got on my hand. I don't know where to find a hose. I gotta find a hose. I need a hose. Where can I find a hose?
So still a reason to buy it if you want.
Hose?
A hose. I need a hose.
In the backyard?
Where in the backyard? I need a hose.
Probably by where the hose normally is. I don't fucking...
Where's the hose normally?
Outside the house, maybe.
Not helpful.
Outside, so do a perimeter search.
Hose. Hose. No amount of speed is fast enough. Here we go. Hose. Oh god, it's all covered in spider webs and shit. Am I gonna be able to get this off? Maybe. Oh, there's like dead bugs stuck on the hose. Everything about everything that's happening is fucking disgusting. Maybe I can drag this through the house to the backyard so I don't have to disconnect it. Every single step of what I've done here deserves to be considered among the stupidest things I've ever done. Obviously, my biggest mistake was letting the crock pot get as gross as it was. My second biggest mistake would be thinking of it as a liquid. So after I dumped it into the trash bag and a bunch of it fell all over the porch, I tried to spray it with a hose without moving the hose from the front yard because I couldn't figure out how to detach it. So I ran it through the house, took it out here, couldn't reach very far, took a while to figure out how to spray it correctly, then tried to spray the stuff that had fallen, but that stuff is like a solid, so I just kind of blew it into the rocks and the grass. I mean, it's all biodegradable shit, but I don't want it on the fucking patio. There's little flecks of it that, get off, get into the grass, I need like a full shower after this. I mean, fine, whatever. We have lots of bugs. They can eat all that shit. But, yeah, that was not the best method of cleaning that pot, probably. honestly, it was tempting to just throw the whole pot away. Also, I'm in my underwear now, because I got soaking wet, and I tracked wet footsteps all through the house trying to manage the hose. Clean up after yourself, kids.